Alrighty then. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to open up another one of these hospitable town halls. It's great to see you all. Before we kick off, just a reminder again that our town halls are recorded and will be made available for playback on the Hospitable YouTube channel. And you can listen to the replays here in the Clubhouse app. I was going to say Hospitable app. We'll get started with some company updates and let you know what's going on with the business. And then after that, as most of you know, we'll open up the Q&A session. So when the time comes, raise your hand through the app and we'll invite folks up on stage to ask their questions. Please remember to mute yourself when you're on stage and aren't speaking as a courtesy, and also remember to unmute yourself in the bottom right-hand screen when you're talking. And if you aren't comfortable on stage or don't want to be recorded, as Matthew said, we have people in the chat, so you can answer your questions via the chat function, and if they're not answered, we can escalate some of those up on stage. So without further ado, I give the mic over to Pierre with the company updates.
Yeah, the company updates are not very prepared. I'm sorry, and I apologize in advance, because I was on nursery duty just before. But that's okay, because the one thing that I need to say is basically that Emily has finally joined the team, and we're really, really looking forward to that. So that's my opportunity to introduce her to you. Hello, Emily. How are you doing in Georgia? Hello.
I am
Fancy
great.
seeing you. So, for the people that don't yet have the chance of knowing you, who are you, Emily, and what are you going to do here at Hospitable?
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I'm Emily Tangala. I'm the Senior Product Manager for Core and Connectivity and Connect. I am living just outside of Atlanta in a city called Tucker. I see some other Tuckerins on the call, so that's awesome. I'm living here with my husband, my 3 kids, and let's see. So my career as a product manager has mostly been spent in the global health industry. Very different than the short-term rental industry. I was previously had a product for a data collection and analysis platform. It was used by like World Health Organization, CDC, Ministries of Health all over the world to predict outbreaks of different types of diseases and then try to prevent them by distributing medication to communities who are at risk. So that was a really exciting part of my career. I've more recently worked as the technical product manager in the marketing industry, leading integrations teams. And now I'm excited to be here. I came to know and love Hospitable kind of as a social media lurker and more recently as a customer. So I'm a host myself. I understand firsthand the important role Hospitable plays in giving hosts their time back. So I'm so excited to be here and meet some of you in the near future.
Woo-hoo. And that's not the first time that you're on a town hall, right? That's at least the second time, but that's been there. You've been there for quite some time, no?
Oh yeah, I've attended town halls in the past, so I know what's up.
Yeah. So that's great. And definitely, I don't think you could have the WHO on a town hall in your previous job. So yeah, you've been. So tell us a bit more about your hosting experience. So I think you have a cabin.
I do, yeah. I have a cabin up near the Blue Ridge Mountains in Cherry Log, Georgia. It's a really big industry for short-term rentals. I'll bet you some of you on the call also have cabins in the area. A tiny little spot, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, just really remote in the middle of nowhere. And it's a lot of fun. It's been an adventure for sure.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So you are going to be a senior product manager. So that's the person that basically tells our engineers what issues to solve, what new features to build for. And that's really great the way you put it, core and connectivity and connect. So connect is not something we have basically talked about in the context of the tunnels, but that's basically a very exciting project that we're working on internally. That's more for working with the industry. And hopefully you should be able to see in the software that you're using near you. So thank you very much, Emily. You're staying on the stage to basically, or in the audience to basically keep on listening to the feedback from our customers, right?
Yep, I'll be here.
Thank you very much. As for the rest of the company updates, which are definitely less interesting than Emily's arrival as finally a product manager working on the existing product. So we're all back safely from Amsterdam. It was a very exciting time for the company to meet people, especially on the product and engineering side. Unfortunately, Emily could not be there to basically, talk a little bit about what the company is about. Honestly, let's do the basics there. Especially considering that we've grown the team 70%. I think that was definitely a moment when alignment was needed. We also talked a little bit more about, what kind of features we would like to build in the product. And really, I think that maybe Andrew is going to talk about this a bit later. That's most likely, that's more like the day-to-day items. But the thing that we are really would love to bring in 2023 is more AI-related features. One of the things that was particularly important in the context of that retreat is that that's when ChatGPT was released in the middle of that retreat. So that got a lot of people to be curious about what we can do internally with artificial intelligence and those type of services within a product like Hospitable. We have plenty of ideas to basically help you save more time, which we believe is our core mission within your tech stack and what you see as most beneficial from us to you. Well, that's safely from Amsterdam, and we're going to have some exciting things to be showing for you in the future about it. The other more minor item, but that would be of interest to some of you in the audience that are, for example, investors into Hospitable, is that Hospitable has, just as of Monday, secured $750,000 in financing through Founder Path. Now, that's not like the other type of items that we typically broadcast that are more like, other community funding, or maybe other startups you've been hearing talking about more equity fundraising with venture capital funds that basically inject large amount of money into their product. Founder Path is basically a company that is creating, I want to say debt, but that's not exactly the thing. It's basically sees the revenue that we're having and the growth pattern that we're the growth trajectory where we are, and basically advance the revenue. So 12 months of revenue in advance for us would basically give us quite a bit of cash flow and quite a bit of cash upfront so that we can invest into a product in particular. And that basically is 75% going to be for exclusively for the financing of direct, especially the payment processing features. If you are unusual of those channels, you know that we're going to be releasing a direct booking product that's going to facilitate, that's going to operate, that's going to do the payment processing for you. So you won't be charged any kind of processing fees, for example. But that means that we need to basically take all the risk ourselves. And that's basically something that those $750,000 will help us do. We decided also not to opt for an equity financing at this point. So that's more for the VC types that are joining those panels or listening to the recording on YouTube. Because honestly, that is too small of an amount for a company like ours to really make a difference for the companies that really want to own a sizable share of our equity. And we definitely didn't see a need for having more capital, which would create maybe more problems. And that was also at the moment of the company where we are, that's the moment of maximum risk, simply because for an investor in particular, because we are about to launch a new product. And, plenty of wrong things can happen when you launch a new product. So what we like to do is basically reserve that as an option, maybe in the future for later, once we have actionable metrics and we know exactly what we plan on doing with the cash. For now, what we needed is really those $750,000 that we pay back over time. But as the business is growing, we don't see that as a particular problem. So talking about growth, it is, that's kind of the challenge here. It is December, so that's not exactly the time where we are always historically been doing top revenue or customer growth. So far, we are basically at 4% growth. We have passed again 4% growth in revenue in the past 30 days. We're basically touching $390,000 MRR. That's 4.7 million ARR. So annual recurring revenue, annual run rate. And basically with the customer count, that is basically has just increased by nearly 3% in the past 30 days as well. And that's basically, we're still testing a new price point for customers that are active, for new customers that are joining our product. That's new pricing that's been in place since October. And the last number that I can share with you, because I believe I didn't do it on the past channel, which was the very beginning of December, is how much our customers have been making for the month of November, ending on November 30th. And that number is $125 million together. So that means all our customers that basically were active customers at one point in the month of November have together generated from Airbnb, from Vrbo, from Booking.com, $125 million in revenue for that given month of November. So that does represent quite a bit of a down from the previous number from October, where it was close to $180 million. And that's basically the impact of seasonality patterns. We're expecting a little bit more to basically around Thanksgiving. But yeah, that's basically what the number that I can share with you for those that are tracking those numbers in the audience. So yeah, that's what I have for company updates at this point. And I'm going to go straight up to Matthew, who can share some of those sales updates and what we hear from the first lines in the battlefield.
Hey, everybody. And one thing to note, though, with that price change, what we can share internally, we've seen, we are seeing a bit of decrease in conversion rate, but we're still generating just as much, actually more revenue than we've had in the past, less customers. So it's definitely having an impact on our customer count, but we're not seeing that impact on our revenue numbers at this moment in time, which is pretty... Go ahead.
Sorry, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. I'm cutting you off.
No worries. No, that was it. Just to share that. So again, peel behind the curtain a little bit as we make those pricing changes. So some of you worried about increasing your pricing, right? That could be something that leads to fewer bookings, but at the end of the day, it might end up more money in your pocket. So don't be scared.
And that's
aside
exactly
from
that's what I wanted to share. Sorry, Matthew. That basically we basically have seen an increase in new revenue. So new subscription revenue. So new customers by basically increasing by 25%. Yeah. So that's very significant. While the same number of customers, so that means we can still provide them with a great experience for their onboarding.
Yeah, absolutely. And so just from the sales side, what we've seen internally, as we get to the end of the year, we have seen an uptick in hosts who are signing up for our service that have 20 or more properties, which is something that moves the needle when we see that here on the team. So finding out why these hosts are choosing our service, some of the reasons that the rest of our hosts choose our service, ease of use, right? Ease of connectivity. Some people are wowed to be able to connect their Airbnb account and pull all their reservations in within an hour or so. And then features like our Smartlocks integrations are really starting to pay dividends as hosts are getting excited to be able to control everything all in one place. We also offer an account setup call for the most of our hosts, and those have been tremendously helpful, just getting people up and running, being able to show them some of the finer points of the system that they may not have come across on their own. And, even as easy as a system as ours is, it still requires some help. And, I know why it could take hosts months to get up and running with some of our competitors, but only, just a couple weeks to be up and running with Hospitable, to have that full system connected. So, and kudos to our sales team for closing some of those deals and working with those hosts. Nice job, Vera. Nice job, Brian. And then just to share what we're hearing in the industry, a lot of hosts are looking for some of those longer short-term stays. They're also looking to add some more midterm stays as we get into that winter season for us up here in the Northern Hemisphere. But, adding channels like Furnish Finder that can help them unlock some of those midterm stays or even, those month-long stays that they're looking for. So hosts are continually asking, hey, how do I boost occupancy? And I just want to call to mind, and I don't know, Daniel, if you can pull that link and share it. But if you go to our YouTube page, we had a webinar on how to deal with declines in inquiries. And that had some fantastic information on ways that you can increase your reservations by thinking outside the box just a little bit. Now, you're going to need to be a bit of a salesperson, right? We know Airbnb is great at set it and forget it, but if you really want to start getting some of those reservations, you're going to have to put your outbound skills to the test. And my tip to you, if you're weary, hey, just think about what's the worst that can happen by making this cold call or reaching out to somebody, right? They're probably going to hang up on you is the worst that can happen. And you're going to get hung up on, but wear that badge of honor with pride because you're just out there trying to do what's best for your business. And nobody's going to be perfect at it to get started, but just try some different things there. The goal is you're looking to help that organization. So, looking at construction companies that are working in the area, right? Some big businesses that may be nearby and reaching out to somebody, who's in that travel or who manages travel for the company and might be able to, hey, show that your apartment's nearby. So let's go ahead and build a relationship where if you do need anybody, a place to host anybody, we'd love to have you there. So looking at some of those places that you wouldn't necessarily look, again, take a look at that YouTube video. It was chock full of fantastic information that may spark an idea or two of your own on different channels or different companies, organizations, right? People in your area that you can reach out to that may be able to get you a few extra bookings that you wouldn't have, by just kind of letting things play out there on Airbnb or the existing channels.
Sending it in
And
the
that's
chat
it.
now. Just
Great. So it'll be there in the chat. Again, take a look at that. If you head over to our YouTube page, right? YouTube Hospitable, you're going to see there's some great webinars that we've put up there. This one specifically was how to deal with declines and inquiries. And we had a fantastic panel that shared. Lauren Havens, absolutely amazing. She shared with us some of her tips that she utilizes. And those are definitely tips that I would, I would take advantage of for sure. And that's it from my side. Thanks for listening. I'll pass it along to Miles. Hey, Miles, what do you got on the marketing side for us?
Oh no.
He's unmuted, to be
we
fair.
seem to have
To be fair.
Yeah. Is it the curse of the
Miles, I would
unmuting
suggest
button?
try leaving and coming back again straight away. It works for me.
Yeah. We're doing tech support for other products as well.
I'm a big fan of this club deck. This club deck has been killer every single time. Andrew or Ben or one of you guys, whoever shouted that out, thank you. But we'll go ahead and maybe Alyssa, you can get us started on the support updates, and we'll come back around to Mr. Hobson.
Mice is here. Can Mice?
Any luck?
Yes.
Hey!
Yes. I don't know why. Why does it do that? Hey? I did unmute, just in my defense. So, on the marketing side this week. So, just want to kind of go through a couple of other resources that we have available, just to help, educate folks out there and steal some tips and guidance from other hosts. So last week we had an informative Hospitable host workshop on everything you need to know about handling emotional support and service animal requests. That was with our very own Pierre-Camille and Hospitable host Ikene Unegbu. One very important takeaway from the workshop was that there was 2 questions that you can legally ask in regards to these animals. The first being, is the service animal required because of a disability? Obviously, the guest there can answer yes or no. And the second question being, what work or task has the animal been trained to perform? These are the only 2 questions that you can legally ask in regards to emotional support and service animals. And we definitely recommend checking out that video in full to learn a bit more about those questions and how to handle difficult situations regarding having animals stay in your Airbnb. So you can check that out on our YouTube channel, and we have a link there, so hopefully Daniel can drop that in the chat too.
Yeah, I'm going to share that link in a sec as well.
Perfect, thank you. And then secondly, we also have a brand new Hospitable Host podcast out, and that was released just yesterday. That was with the co-founders of Host Financial. They joined Matthew to talk about how to finance your short-term rental investments and maintenance in today's economic climate. You can listen to the episode wherever you usually listen to your podcasts, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more. We'll also make sure that link is up on our social channels, and hopefully Daniel can also drop that in the chat, not to overload things in there though.
We got quite a few things in the chat. And I think I said this previously, when we talked about it before, but you have to listen to this if you're in any way, shape, or form considering how to get financing, right? How to fund that next property. There was so much good information there. I was blown away at the knowledge that those individuals bring and just how they're able to simplify it. Excuse me. So absolutely have to give that a listen. Those guys at Host Financial are amazing. We appreciate having them on that podcast so much. So, take my recommendation to heart there and give that one a listen. If you listen to anything that we shared here today, actually listen to it all because there's great nuggets for all of you.
Perfect. Thank you, Matthew. And then the final thing from me, is just looking ahead at 2023. So the first masterclass that we have in 2023 is with NoiseAware's Senior Director of Customer Experience, Patrick. Patrick's going to join us to talk about avoiding parties at your properties. If you want to learn more about protecting your property, join us on January 26th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Again, I think that's one final one that Daniel can share a link to in the chat. We will send out email notifications on that, and also obviously put out some social media posts so that you can register on that. We'll share that in the coming weeks. But yeah, that's January 26th for that next masterclass with Noise Aware. And I think that's all from me. So I am going to hand this over to Alyssa now.
Thank you, Miles. So there's not too much going on with support, except gearing up for the holidays, as this has been a vacation-heavy week for us. But the team is keeping up well. The only downside, in my opinion, is that I won't get to see as many ugly Christmas sweaters on our all-company meeting this Friday. Very excited to see what everyone brings to the table there. However, starting on the next town hall, you will start hearing from more people in support as we let more of the team start taking the stage and talking with you all. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. And also, one of our support advocates, Tanai, is now fully out of training and taking scheduled support calls and is on that schedule. So we have another person on US hours that can help you out there. I know sometimes we get a little, the calls on the US hours get taken pretty quick. So we have another person on there for you. And lastly, on a more internal note, we are starting in on more frequent training sessions within our team so that we can continue to learn more and be even more effective in resolving any issues that you send our way. So this is something that we're all super excited to get started on, and we just discussed yesterday in our team meeting. So looking forward to that. And I will pass it on to Andrew for product updates.
Cool. Thank you. So yeah, the last time we checked in, we were broadcasting live from Amsterdam, and that was for at least the product team. We were looking at road mapping issues, and we actually kind of thought about it. And we were like, well, we have this whole product team now. Most of us are pretty new. Anmol and I just joined in August. Emily just joined just a week ago and was not able to make it to Amsterdam. We decided it probably makes more sense for us to let the PMs do the discovery and the investigation and roadmap. So we kind of punted on that because the direct roadmap is already pretty clear. The connect roadmap that we mentioned for our kind of industry-related product, mostly clear. It was just the core side, and Emily wasn't there, and she is taking over the product role for core, so it didn't seem fair to vote on that roadmap without her there. And as Pierre mentioned earlier, we were all kind of having these aha moments with ChatGPT and AI, and we ended up doing breaking up into different teams, doing a pitch contest. And every team, we had cross-functional roles working together and kind of trying to design something new, something different. And it was the AI that was kind of won the contest that we had. Still waiting on Pierre to tell us what prizes they won, but we did take a lot of good notes on several different aspects. But yeah, look forward to some AI in the inbox in 2023. Into actual progress that has gotten done. If you have checked your direct page or maybe you read your product newsletter, we did push 3 of the 10 new direct site templates. So those are live for beta users currently. They're looking good. We're still doing like little tiny tweaks. We really want the designs to be as good as possible. The booking widget also is matching the different color schemes and fonts that we're using. If you're a beta user, you can go in there. If you've already got a direct site live, it takes about 10 seconds to when you hit the switch, and then you just refresh your page and you've got a brand new site. We only had one design previously. We're calling the Direct Classic or Direct Original. This is a big improvement. There are 7 more waiting for our final review, so those will be coming out in the next couple of days, and then you'll have 10 brand new templates to play with. You can preview those from your direct backend. You just go to the direct page in Hospitable, go to the site, and then there's a design tab that has a brand new template switcher that you can do. And again, everything goes live almost immediately. So that's an easy experiment you can run and look at the new designs. And yeah, feel free to give us any feedback you have. We've also done some debugging on that. We found some parameters weren't getting communicated exactly to the site with the amenities, maximum number of guests. Those all got cleared up. So making a lot of progress there. In other news, it wouldn't be a town hall without mentioning Smartlocks. August and Yale are now released to all users. It is no longer a beta product. So those have been properly vetted and debugged. SmartThings is still in beta. And when we checked this morning, we have currently connected 4,665 Smartlocks. So that is a lot of time saved. If you have not, experimented yet, lots of different smart locks. You can check from our site and find all the different devices we support. Encourage you to do that. Otherwise, a lot of different small bug fixes, front-end changes, improvements. We've been with Unmol's involvement. We're really looking at growth items, so we've made the sign-up flow better. One big fix we did actually just today. If you sign up to Hospitable, we no longer will redirect you to the connected account page to make you connect an Airbnb or connect to booking.com just to experience the product. We're now going to let you experience the product before you connect an account. For those of you that are not a Hospitable customer yet, this gives you a bit less pressure and a bit more time to kind of experience the product and decide whether or not it's right for you. We also have brand new API documentation. No new APIs, just a much prettier look. So if you have done any integrations with us on your own, that API documentation is looking a little bit nicer now. Otherwise, what we're working on, Direct Team is running full steam. We are really trying to get stuff pushed into the year, very beginning of next year. So making more progress on those direct sites. This week we were looking at the financials page, so you're going to be able to view what my next payout is, what my next 30 days of upcoming payouts are, historical record of all your transactions. We've got devs working on the guest vetting implementation now. So, you're going to have control over who stays, and we're going to be vetting every single guest that comes through, direct. And that's just part of the product. It's on the turnkey side. It's just going to work. The insurance side is next. Everything is going to be, insured. So you're protected as a host. Yeah, that should be about it. I'm actually, Emily, if you're still on stage, do you want to take over and ask a question about the first project that you're working on?
Yeah. So right now, I'm doing a little bit of discovery around what it might look like if we display the estimated value of an inquiry. So, for example, right now, when somebody does an inquiry, we don't get any financial information from Airbnb at that point. But for our larger property management companies using the platform, they might have multiple inquiries coming in for the same dates, and they might want to know, hey, like, which one should I be going after? Which one is going to make me the most money? So we're doing a little bit of discovery around what it might take to kind of estimate that value and display that to you so you can make those good decisions. So if that's something that you guys would find valuable, say so in the chat, and just let us know your thoughts around that.
Okay. And any updates on Command Bar, Algolia?
Yes. So another thing we're working on right now is Command Bar. So this is going to give you the ability to use one place within Hospitable to search for a variety of different things. So we're still working out the nitty-gritty details of what you're going to be able to search. But for example, you could go into the Command Bar and search for a specific reservation or a specific property without having to click through the menus and the sub-navigation to find exactly what you're looking for. So it'll just be a really nice way to be able to find what you're looking for a little bit quicker.
And that is almost live, still in progress. We're basically working out the search indexing. Hopefully we can get that released before the holidays, but that is going to be a big update on the product, especially the power users. It's really going to save you time just navigating through the product, finding reservations, finding chats in your inbox, getting to help content if you need it. So we're looking forward to that. And with that, I think product and engineering are updated.
Woo-hoo. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Emily and Andrew, for those big product updates. I'm very excited about the change of API documentation. I know that basically the developers that are on the call know what I mean. A developer and API documentation that basically is accessible and a lot more friendly. Basically, that results in more integrations and simply a much better developer experience. So thank you, everyone, to make that happen and everything else on Direct in particular. Okay, I think we're now on a Q&A.
Yes, indeed. Oh, wow. Okay. So straight away we have Lauren, who has raised her hand to come up on stage. So I will invite her to come up.
Hello, Lauren. Hello, Lauren. Long time no see on those town halls. How are you doing today? I think you can unmute bottom right button.
Thank you.
Yes,
That's what I was
perfect.
looking for.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys are probably tired of me by now.
How can we help you today?
He's not even responding. That's a yes. Okay.
Lauren, you keep us on your toes. We love you, right?
That's a very nice way to put it, Matthew.
I'm very much a salesman. I'll stop now.
My question is, so, I don't know. I don't know how it's exciting to hear that you're getting a lot more users with lots of properties. I think you said 20 plus or more was the number that you gave, which is really exciting. But at the same time, I am one of those users. I have about 70 listings on the platform, and 30 or 40 of those have been added in the last 2 months. And the quality of my Hospitable account has gone way down since then. I don't know if it's related to the sheer number of listings, but my Smartlock integration has been broken. It's been very, very buggy, very slow response times as well from support. But the main pain point has been that like property and calendar pages are loading really slowly, like almost unusable, since I had all these additional properties added to my account. Also, as an aside, the API, I've tried to work to build things off the API, and it's really not a very robust API, but that's just an aside. So my question is, what are you guys doing to make this experience better for those power users, for those people who have lots of units? Because right now, I mean, honestly, the experience I've had as I've grown, it's really hard to use Hospitable because there've just been so many issues as my portfolio has increased. So are there any plans to like improve page load time or anything like that, improve the API, anything that will make someone with a larger portfolio make it easier to use your platform?
Well, when it comes to the API, we do have plans on enhancing that. So definitely, through one of the support chats, reach out and share some of those pieces that you would like to see for your use case. Because I think that's something, as Pierre mentioned, we made a change in documentation. I know there's a team working on the API, and eventually we are I'm pretty sure there's a plan in place to add additional functionality to that API so that you can do a bit more. So don't hesitate to share with us what are some of those things that you're looking for, specifically, like what do you want to build out, so we can have an understanding again of those needs. And I want to invite Ben up here because I feel like we've made a bunch of changes to make it better for hosts with larger portfolios, with things like load times and things along those lines. But I can't speak. Right? Or Pierre, do you recall?
There's a continuous effort as to basically the specific things I'm investigating right now on your account. I don't see anything that basically would be off the mark by quite a significant number to the point where it would make it usable on the calendar, on the property page. What I think is, I want to understand your expectations.
I sent in a video to support. It's about a 2-minute long video. It was a screen grab of me trying to access Hospitable on mobile. And so I think it's about 2 minutes long. And yeah, well, it's mobile and desktop. The video that I sent was mobile, but I'm having the issues on both. And over the course of about 2 minutes, the calendar page still hadn't completely loaded.
Completely loaded with all the prices for all your properties, which basically loads in 2 different pages. Two different
Not
pages.
Just prices, like just the calendar. I was just trying to scroll down and see a specific property, and the calendar after 2 minutes had not loaded enough for me to get to that property that I was looking for.
On the property page or on the calendar for all the properties?
Calendar.
So you looked at to just describe the flow. I think, first of all, that's something that we should take separately from here, Lauren. I know that basically Matthew had a bit of a call with you to iron out the different issues that you escalated to our support team. So what I'm going to say is simply that we're committed to making it the best product. It definitely is not possible if we are going to have to condemn to do everything perfect on the first go. What I'm observing here is really that in light of the requirements and the existing performance, That's something that for me is in line. What I would give you as a trick, if you want to access the calendar for a given property, is at this point in time to go and check on the properties page first and then load the calendar specifically. There may be performance issues. Right now, I'm not able to replicate them by basically checking on things right now. Ben, you have something to share maybe to Lauren right now?
Pretty much exactly what you said, Pierre. Yeah. So Lauren, I'm taking a quick look at your account as well, and from what I could see, everything looks okay right now. We do, as Pierre mentioned, we do all sorts of things. We paginate certain pages like the inbox to keep those speedy, even for larger customers. I will take a look at that video, but yeah, I think the workaround Pierre gave for the calendar in particular, especially if you're on mobile, that single property calendar will load much quicker for you. But yeah, I'll take a look at the video as well and see if we can find anything.
Okay, well, I'm having the issue on both properties and calendars. That was the page I was on when I made the video. But that really wasn't the question, me specifically. The question just was, is there a roadmap for improving load time for your bigger users?
I think it would be a shame for a company to have a specific roadmap item. This is an obligation. So we need to ensure that our existing customers are going to be able to use the product. The roadmap is really about what are the new things that we're building. So for example, that's one of the reasons why right now we're operating on our roadmap for a product like Direct, because those are new features that we're building. But at this point in time, we still are dedicating the entire force of our core team. So that's in total 14 people that met just earlier today to basically look at the issues that are experienced by our customers. Alyssa is here doing the work of advocating the issues that are being reported by customers and are affecting a significant number of customers, so they are immediately prioritized. And I can tell you, Alyssa is doing a fantastic job here on basically making sure that developers are going to be accountable to the problem that we're facing, that our customers are facing. It may seem like, a simple problem of the load times, but there is a lot of work that goes behind it. So for example, starting 3 weeks ago, our engineering team started looking into different alternatives in terms of database technologies. We currently are using MySQL, and that basically no longer fits the bill in terms of response times. But that means, a significant effort to basically change completely database providers if their engineering decision is taking those type of things. We also know that we're expecting to scale. So that means definitely, we've added more customers during 2022 than we did in the 5 years prior. That obviously is creating a lot of pressure on our infrastructure. But that's not the infrastructure that really is at stake here. We have like 3,000 servers at this point in time on Kubernetes to basically not servers properly. That's a lot lower, but the pods and workers differently. And so it's basically we're completely aligned on ensuring that the product works. We don't have a roadmap for that. That's basically continuous work that is going to be taking any priority over any item that's about building something new. Because solving the problem that you're experiencing today on the product that we have today is always going to be the priority. And that's why we basically are struggling to basically build new things like Direct, or like now, Connect is not exactly that type of similar situation, but that's why we're prioritizing the existing customers always over the new features, even if we're taking a hit and we're taking some customers canceling because we don't have a feature match. So that's my answer on you. We're committed. There is no item on the roadmap. We don't do a project management there. It's just basically everything is prioritized. Yes, we do, but everything is prioritized based on the customer impact. So yeah, that's basically what I'm telling you right now. We're committed on making sure that the software works.
Okay. Thank you, Lauren. I'm going to move you back to the audience now, so that we get some more questions up here. But thank you very much for your question.
Thank you, Lauren.
So next up, we have Tony Hughes that I'm going to invite up stage now. So Tony, you're being invited. There we go.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you great.
Hello, Tony.
Hello, thank you. Thanks, guys, for this. And yeah, excited about some of the updates you guys are rolling out. My question is related to direct. I haven't been able to tune in as much as you guys have been kind of rolling out, but I've been reading emails here and there about some of the updates. My question is, from what I understand, you're making it possible. So, like, for example, I use your booking widget on a Squarespace site, and will guests be able to book direct through that widget and basically perform a transaction all throughout that widget? And then additionally, it's my understanding, are you providing, there's going to be some sort of way that we can have like insurance or coverage for these bookings that are coming in? If you can clear up what that process is going to look like, that'd be great.
Cool. Yeah, I'll jump in since that's my domain. Thanks for the question, Tony. Yeah, so the what we're calling kind of direct premium, that's meant to be a turnkey experience, meaning we're going to take care of the payment processing, like Pierre mentioned. We're going to be paying you out in most cases within 24 hours of a check-in. We're going to be vetting guests through our service provider. We're going to be ensuring every booking you make through that marketplace with up to $5 million of coverage. That's all going to be as turnkey as possible when that launches, and that's all going to work through the booking widget. So you'd be able to activate those features on Hospitable. You can slap that booking widget on any site you have, and we will be the merchant of record there. So like Pierre said, we're taking liability for chargebacks, for refunds, etc. And we're going to make you do as little as possible in that booking flow. And yeah, again, through the insurance as well, and make that should be the best direct booking experience on the market.
That's great. Cool. That answers my question. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tony. Fantastic. I'm going to move you back to the audience now. It was very swift. And then we've got John that wants to come up on stage. Hello, John. Oh, I did send him in.
Hi,
There he is.
can you hear me?
Hi, John. Yes, we can hear you fine.
Hey guys, I love your
Hey,
town
John.
halls. Hello. I love your town halls. I'm glad you guys keep doing it and get the feedback and and keep kind of directing the product to what people need. You mentioned this before, and I guess just as a high level, you said that you're looking to update your API. Is there any kind of just high level of what type of direction you're going with that?
Oh, sorry, John. We updated our API documentation to make it more developer friendly. The content of the API endpoints have not changed so far. And they're still basically convenient to retrieve the list of properties, the pricing, changing availabilities, and basically getting access to all the reservations at this point. We're talking with some partners, but yeah, I think the thing that is typically shared very often here on those channels, for example, regarding our API is basically everything that's financial related. So all the data that we're having regarding amounts, subtotal, total price paid, and taxes, etc., and to make that more directly available on the API, which is something that basically the engineering team is aware of, and I need to basically restructure quite a few things in the background to ensure it happens in a stable fashion. But yeah, what are you looking at, John?
Well, that's clear. That helps. So I guess between different platforms, we would be able to get more accurate financial information. Is kind of what I'm hearing.
Getting financial information. I don't think what we're sharing is really minimalistic. And I think you cannot reproduce the kind of price items independently.
Okay. But the endpoints are pretty much staying the same.
They are totally staying the same. What we've updated is
Okay.
really the documentation. So on api.hospitable.com/docs, we just basically, finally make the call to jump to another service provider for the documents, for the API documentation here.
Okay. That's all. I just wanted to kind of understand what direction you are going in. Yes, the financial side would be incredibly helpful. So
that's why it's very high on the list of feature requests regarding the API. And I think I think we're good for now with just that extra piece on the API.
Okay. Thank you. And again, I appreciate everything that you guys are doing. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you very much, John. Pleasure to always to have you on stage.
Thanks, John. Yes, I was going to say the exact same thing. Pleasure to hear you. As I'm move you back now, and we have Sean, who I'm going to invite up next. No?
Hello, Sean. You can join us on stage. You're going to accept it. I think Sean is, I don't know, maybe he's a new Clubhouse user.
Let's just see here, maybe yes. All right then. So while we wait for Sean to pop up on stage, the team have been doing an amazing job with answering questions in the chat. Oh no, there's Sean. Okay, Sean is now a speaker.
Hello, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
No, you can. Yes, finally, you can unmute yourself. Hello, Sean.
Hi, guys.
Hey, hello. The name is familiar. Have you been a user for quite some time?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think at least 2 years. First of all, I want to thank you guys for finally making the integration to Remote Lock. Started merging them, and right now it's been very helpful. I have a lot of listings, right? And right now with that, it helps me not just automate the code for Airbnb reservations, but also VRBO, which we have been manually creating codes for. So this is really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is basically about the direct. I know it's still in the works, it's still coming. So this announcement about new templates, whatever, my understanding is that currently your templates or this direct thing doesn't work with Wix. So my website is built by Wix. So is there a workaround, like I have to export and import widgets and iframes or whatever to make it work, or I cannot work with my Wix built website? I have to just link them to a new domain, or how to make it work?
Yeah, thank you, Sean, first for the kind words on the remote lock integration. We know it's been a long time coming, and finally we made it happen with also all those native connections with Yale, with Schleg on code, with August Locks as well that we're releasing today to everyone. If Ben is available, that I think you've looked into that issue specifically with a booking widget and Wix, correct?
Yes, yeah. Hey,
Yes.
Sean. Thanks so much for raising that. Yeah, so we are aware at the moment that the booking widget doesn't play nicely with Wix specifically. So there were a few questions in the chat as well about WordPress. Everything's good with WordPress. There's an issue with the way, a little bit technical, but Wix kind of embeds iframes within iframes to show the content, which kind of messes with the booking widget a little bit. It's in our backlog at the moment as kind of a known issue. There's probably something we can do relatively easily to kind of work around that to get it working on Wix. So I will take a look at that. Yeah, it is on our radar, and yeah, we want to get that working across the board really on any. You can either build a direct website with us, but if you bring your own, you should also just be able to drop in that widget and it should work. So yeah, we will get to that.
And I think to recall that the problems are really on the security, so some restriction side on Wix, not unlike any other providers that we're working with, right?
Yes, yeah, it's specifically to do with the way they kind of embed content within content, which we sort of haven't seen before, we didn't expect and didn't plan for. There are ways we can get around it for sure. We just need to put a little bit of time into investigating those and see what's going on. But yeah, it's more something that Wix are doing that we need to work around than something we've specifically done.
Okay, so still along this topic of the direct booking, currently I can test it, the beta. I can actually kind of use it. However, it's lacking two very important features. Number one is taxes, and the other one is payment. So I can manually, let people book on the test site. However, since it doesn't include taxes, I need to add taxes, but I cannot even edit that direct booking reservation. I have to, it's not editable. I have to delete that reservation, calculate taxes manually, and manually like create a new booking and propose to the guest. It's like very painful, and there's no way to pay first as well. So just wondering if I don't have other workarounds through other technology to do direct booking. Is there like a estimated timeline for your direct to be fully live?
Hey, Sean. Yeah, we don't want you to have to do a workaround. So we've got a couple different routes for you. There is a direct with payment processing that's in a private pilot. You can bring your own Stripe account for that, and that will let you manually add the taxes. Since you're managing a lot of properties, though, you might want to hang on just a little bit, and we're going to get the direct premium launched. We are several weeks away, but not several months away. And that's going to not require any workarounds for you. So we have a tax calculation service provider that will calculate all the lodging tax for you based on, every location where you have a property. So you don't have to deal with that. We're going to do all the accounting for you and pass that through. The payment processing, you won't need to even set up a Stripe account. You'll be able to connect your bank account or bank accounts. And we'll automate the payouts as well. So there are no workarounds in the final solution. If you can hang around just a few more weeks, we are going to be kind of soft launching that towards the end of the year, beginning of next year, and then moving it through the steps as we make adjustments and get feedback from our charter customers on that.
Oh wow, a few weeks away. That's much better than a few months away. My partner has been pressuring me to do to launch direct as soon as possible. And I tried OwnerRes, and it clashed with Hospitable because I cannot have more than one PMS. And then I tried Healthy, which is kind of very bare bones skeleton without a lot of features. And then now I'm looking at booking automations, all these workaround because I have the impression that I have to wait another half a year or 1 year.
No. I understand the frustration, and you're not alone. I think a lot of people that have been in the town halls over the last few months, they know that we've been working on this, and we are very, very close now. And we've gone about it kind of a different way. So, we're not just throwing something out there. We really have thought through this, and we're doing kind of a hybrid solution that is, between an OTA and between here's a website, you do all the work, you do all the payment processing, you do all the liability. It really is kind of a unique situation, and that's why we're pretty confident that we're going to have a very unique and hopefully the best offering on the market for direct booking, and we're getting very close to that. So if you can hang on just a little bit longer, I can, we'll get you set up soon.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you, Sean, for your questions. That gives us an opportunity to basically research what we're building on direct, and why it's going to be so different from anything else that you've seen on the market.
Alrighty. Was there anything else, Pierre? Sorry, I didn't want to.
No, nothing else. Nothing else. I'm just vibing here at this point.
Thank you very much, Sean. I'm going to move back to the audience. Those are very interesting questions. And I think we have time for one more today. So we have Jimmy Gonzalez, who I'm going to invite up to stage now. Hi, Jimmy. Oh, actually. There we go.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you.
For some reason, but I can hear you.
Hello, Jimmy.
Hey guys. So real quick, I'm working. This question may have been asked, but I'm sorry if I'm asking again. But syncing up with like Furnish Finder and using the cow. I love the program so far. I've been a part of it for the past couple of months. I have a couple luxury units in La Quinta and Joshua Tree, and then I'm getting a high-end furnished rental mainly for traveling nurses, California. So then I'm hoping to link the iCal to VRBO, but I'm having VRBO issues. Is this going to be resolved soon? Because according to the facility, I can't use Airbnb, but I could use VRBO. So I was hoping to sync Furnish Finder with VRBO and then put that into my calendar so then I can do a bunch of marketing.
Okay. Jimmy, I'm sorry. I think the connection broke down at very key times of your question. So is your question that basically I think the bottom line is that you want to have Furnish Finder supported via iCal at minimum on Hospitable. Is that correct?
Oh man, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm driving.
No problem.
So yeah, I was trying to sync Furnish Finder with VRBO and then use that calendar into Hospitable so like my team can use it. But we're having problems with VRBO.
Yeah, with VRBO because and especially I can appreciate why you would try and do that, but fundamentally that's a workaround, right? There is no value for you in basically getting your iCal from Furnish Finders to be synced with VRBO if you have that feature available on Hospitable. So you're adding your iCal for that property for your listings on Furnish Finders in Hospitable, and then we can then block your VRBO listings accordingly. I think that would be the best experience for you right now, right?
I think so.
Jimmy? Yes, I believe so too. And that is one of the key things, one of the reasons why we are Emily. So she's just getting started. She basically now will take progressively ownership of the iCal features. So that's something that has been available on the product for a bit of time now. And I was trying to actually get some live numbers so that we can assess, because that's what we're using, really, to assess how many channels are different are our users using and adding. I think there was a problem specifically with Furnish Finders, I think on the technical implementation. So that's the reason why it cannot even be tracked there, because for some reason the iCal is very limited and fussy. But definitely, I think, Jimmy, I can tell you that you're not alone in those type of feature requests. We're quite interested to basically have Furnish Finders available. I see that basically it's not added at this point in time in our iCals. I think there may be a problem there if I recall. But that's the kind of things that definitely Emily will be helping us with. So basically to map out and make sure that those integrations are happening. I know that basically you want to go to a workaround. Variable is not always the best channel in that regard. So that's a bit unfortunate, the situation that you're in. But yeah, I think ultimately we all want to have those iCals supported in Hospitable directly. But I can give you a time frame. I know it's basically depending really on quite a few things on our side. But I know that those iCal integrations, especially on Furnish Finders, is very high on the list. Jimmy, are you still with us?
Yeah, no, it's perfect. I'm just letting you talk. I'm driving. But I just wanted
Don't do that.
wanted to ask, and then so we can move forward and figure things out. But no, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for everything.
Thank you very much, Jimmy, and thank you for sticking with us and for your patience in those matters. Okay, and we are just on time. Daniel, are we just on time? You're the master.
Well, 1 minute past, but that's pretty on time because we started 1 minute late, so exactly an hour. So yes, thank you very much everyone for coming. I'll leave Pierre to give the closing words, but just a reminder that the recording will be up on the Hospitable YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and see any of those, hear any of those updates, you can go and check it out there.
Yeah. First of all, thank you everyone for contributing so much on the chat. There's a lot of questions, and it's almost like a completely different town hall than the one where I'm having on voice. But yeah, thank you especially to Alyssa, Zach, Andrew, and Daniel for answering to the questions from customers on so many directions, in so many ways. Andrew Hobson, please check out future Hospitable openings. We would love for you to work on the product. And yeah, that's basically our best channel for recruiting people in our team. Right now with 33, we just grew the team by 70%. So we basically are putting all on this and making sure that everybody's onboarded in a nice way before adding, 15 more people, 15 more engineers, 15 more product managers. Oh my God, so exciting. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. I won't see you before Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everyone, your family, your friends, your teams. I'm hoping that basically you would have a fantastic winter holidays, and you'll be able to spend more time with those that you are close to, and to rest a little bit. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic time. Ciao, ciao.